I flew the world's best first class from Singapore to Tokyo, where I got to enjoy a hotel room in the sky with a double bed. And the best part, it only cost me $48 and some credit card miles, but more on that later, because this is Singapore Airlines Suites. Singapore Airlines offers a dedicated first-class check-in terminal right next to Terminal 3 in Singapore Changi Airport. After being dropped off from a taxi, I walked straight into a private reception area with minimal crowds and personalized attention. It felt like a luxurious hotel lobby with plush seating, quiet ambience, and dedicated staff to assist passengers. After printing my boarding pass, which looks amazing by the way, and I'm definitely gonna frame it on a wall, I was led directly to a private immigration counter dedicated for first-class passengers bypassing the usual queues. All these were designed for VVIPs and those who need extra privacy. I am neither. I just think it looks cool, and cool it bloody was. I mean, I could have just checked in at a regular check-in desk where they do have lines for first class, but what's the fun in that? Anyway, immediately exiting the immigration point was the Singapore Airlines Silver Cruise Lounge. But I wasn't heading to just any first-class Silver Cruise Lounge, no. It was the cream of the crop, the top drawer, the creme de la creme of Silver Cruise lounges, the private room. Alright, let's take a quick look around the lounge. There were some comfortable private couches to sit on, as well as a small dining area with some drink options, and that's about it. Yeah, it's pretty small, unlike the Emirates First Class Lounge in Dubai that takes up the entire terminal. Moreover, there were no windows overlooking the apron, which was a huge letdown, but there was a giant window that offered views inside the terminal, which was better than the regular Silver Cruise First Class Lounge that had no windows at all, and let's take a quick look at that. It was located just beside the private room entrance, and too was pretty small. There were buffet options and an open kitchen for dim sums and noodles. They had some of my favorite Singaporean dishes such as Hokkien Mee and Laksa, which is a spicy coconut milk based seafood noodle soup. There were some other main dishes that you can order just like that in a private room. There were also some drinks as well as some traditional Nonya Kueh, which is a sweet, sticky, colorful rice cake dessert that has very strong coconut and pandan flavors. So good. Anyway, the first class lounge had private napping rooms with beds that you can reserve for some rest, and amenity also available in the private room, and I was in dire need of it. So I went back to the private room reception and reserved one. But before I got some rest, I wanted a cold shower. The shower stall was beautiful. There were a bunch of toiletries stocked, a sink, a fancy toilet with an automatic bidet, and since we're in the Southeast Asia, a manual one too. Body and face towels were provided along with body wash, shampoo, and conditioner. The shower itself featured both handheld and a rainfall shower head for a very nice experience. The resting room was pretty cool. There was a place for luggage as well as a table. There was a temper mattress that could be remotely controlled to be more ergonomic. There was a zero gravity option, so I guess I'll give that a try, but honestly I think I prefer just a normal flat bed. There was also an armchair that looked like a stripped down version of the one I was about to experience on board the A380. Anyway, it's time for me to get some rest and you to watch some ads if you don't have YouTube Premium or an ad blocker. That was a decent power nap. I may have snoozed my alarm 3 times more than I should have, and by the time I woke up, my flight had already started boarding. But no matter, after a quick walk to my gate and a smooth security check, I headed straight for the first class boarding line and was just moments away from experiencing the best flight of my life. Alright, let's take a quick look around the suite. The legroom, it's alright. At least in the takeoff and landing position was very limited for first class, but I'm not worried since the armchair swiveled to offer better sitting positions after takeoff. Beside that, there was a small table that was extremely overexposed by the reading light from above, so sorry about that. Behind the seat was the main TV screen that I will be using later on for the IFE. There was a universal charging port and a really fancy literature pocket that looked like a Hermes Birkin bag. On the side console were the provider Bang & Olufsen headphones with the first class menu that too were basking under the reading light. There were shallow storage bins with a bit of a padding, perfect for keeping valuables safe in case of turbulence. For anything you're less concerned about or actively want to risk damaging for low-key insurance fraud, there was a second compartment with minimal cushioning. Here was a giant amenity bag from Lumix that we will take a look later on. Next to that was a removable tablet that could act as another screen or control the main IFE monitor. Outside, I sniped a great view of a beautiful Singapore Airlines A380, which unfortunately wasn't coming along with our flight. Yeah, I know, the B-roll sequence showed me already taking off and flying, but that was just because the background music fitted better. Photo against the wall was a bed that I'll be utilizing later. There were also buttons on the side console to control all the lights in the suites, the main TV monitor's position, and those electronic window shades. Beneath that, there were more universal charging ports that my camera refused to focus on because of bad lighting, so you would just have to take my word for it. And there were more storage areas that I had stuffed with my camera gears. Under the armrest was the IFE controller, as well as the controls for the seat adjustment and rotation, as well as the rotation of the main TV monitor. There are few things better than sitting in 1A in Singapore Airlines A380, and that is to be sitting in 1A in Singapore Airlines A380 with 2A empty, because the flight attendant can lower the privacy dividers and turn my single bed into a double bed, but more on that later. But wait, there was something even better than that, and that is to be the only person in first class for the entire flight. I basically had a quarter of the top deck of the world's largest commercial aircraft to myself. This felt as close to it flying private as I ever get, because I literally did not see any other passengers on my flight. The flight attendants kept the business and economy class plebeians very much away from the suites. Enjoying such lavish luxury that I definitely didn't earn or deserve did leave a guilty taste in my mouth. Well, better wash it down with another glass of Krug then, and distract myself with some of the in-flight entertainment. Let's take a quick look at that. The headphones provided were amazing. They came with little ear covers to keep them sanitary, and the sound quality ranked among the best I've tried. Unfortunately, they were one of the few things I couldn't take off the plane. Trust me, I would if I could. As for the main IFE screen, I, out of habit, went to touch and swipe it to navigate it before realizing that it was way too far away and uncomfortable to do so, and there was no reason for it to be a touchscreen to begin with, since there was a smaller detachable tablet to control everything. I could watch shows directly on the tablet or cast them to the main monitor. The IFE on Singapore Airlines is one of the best in the industry, up there with Emirates. I had a huge selection of movies, TV shows, and live TV to choose from. I chose to watch The Creator on my flight. The set design, cinematography, art direction, VFX, framing, and sound design were all stunning, and John D. Washington gave an excellent performance. However, the narrative and character development felt a bit superficial and predictable. Still a pretty cool movie though. Soon the flight attendant came by and asked if I would like to have dinner, and I happily obliged. After swiftly setting up the table, she presented me with a stunning dish of caviar. It came with its usual group of friends, creme fraiche, grated egg yolks and egg whites that are separated because we're fancy over here, chives, a wedge of lemon, and blini. I've eaten more caviar in the air than on the ground, mostly because I can't bring myself to pay $70 for a tiny tin of what feels like black salty seawater. It just isn't as enjoyable when you are footing the bill. But when it's served complimentary in a first class suite, it magically transformed into this exquisite, delicate, buttery and nutty pop in your mouth thing, releasing a smooth oceanic flavor that I absolutely adore. For my main course, I went with the lobster thermidor. Again, yeah, it is the same setup I chose on my last Singapore Airlines first class flight, but it was just too good to pass up. Besides, I can always grab more affordable options when I'm on the ground, so feel free to call me cheap in the comments below and I will wear that like a badge of honor. And just as I remember, the lobster thermidor was amazing. Its natural sweetness shines against the richness of the melted cheese. So good. While I'm finishing my lobster and inhaling this giant floret of a broccoli, I mean, look at the size of that thing, please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe. Sure, it might not be my classiest moment, but at least you can help me feel slightly better about my indecorous veggie inhaling habits. Thanks. Moving on, for dessert, I opted for a plate of fresh fruits. It came with a strawberry, half a wedge of mango, a few blueberries and a watermelon, and a regular land melon. There were unfortunately no grapes. I had the best grapes of my life when flying with Singapore Airlines first class last time and have been craving them ever since. Anyway, it was alright and was a refreshing contrast to balance out the creamy richness of the lobster thermidor. And with that, I am officially stuffed and ready for bed. But before that, let's take a quick look at the contents in the amenity bag. It all came in this giant leather bag with the Singapore Airlines logo embroidered on it. Provided with an eye mask, a pair of socks, a set of lip balm, body lotion and facial mist, as well as a pouch to put them in. There was also a card introducing the auto toilet, also from Lumix. Overall, it was a very nice set of amenities for the flight. While I went to change into the provided pajamas, the flight attendant came and set up my bed, and when I came back, I was greeted with my own hotel room. This really was a dream come true moment for me, to be in Singapore Airlines Suites with a double bed in the sky. But regarding the double bed made from two separate single beds with divider down, it was still just two separate beds with the divider down and not an actual double bed. I learned it the hard way, literally, by trying to move and sit in the middle, and ended up slamming my pelvis into the lower divider in the middle. Yeah, not fun. Anyway, even with a broken pelvis, I'm sure I will get better sleep here than on most long-haul economy flights I've taken. I was woken up by the flight attendants an hour and a half before landing, just as I requested, and laid about in bed for a few more minutes before actually getting up, just like at home. The flight attendant also brought me a hot towel and a cup of coffee latte to help me freshen up, and while she was preparing my breakfast, I decided to finish the creator while in bed waiting. The bed was really comfortable. I don't know if it's an Asian thing, but the bed is pretty hard and I really liked it. I can't emphasize enough how surreal it feels to have my own hotel room in the sky while enjoying a movie. I am incredibly grateful for the experience, one that would have costed me around 5,300 USD. Yet I only paid about $48 in taxes and fees plus 120,000 KrisFlyer miles that I transferred from my Amex account. For those familiar with the points and miles game, yes, 120,000 MR points is a lot for a 6.5 hour flight, but it was in Singapore Airlines Suites. So hopefully you'll forgive my splurge. Besides, I scored an effective 4.37 cents per point, which I'll call a pretty solid redemption. If you're new to this whole credit card points and miles game and want to learn more, drop a plain emoji in the comments below. Given the interest from my previous videos, I plan to create both long and short form tutorials on how I earned points, found award bookings, and enjoyed premium class travels that I otherwise never dream of experiencing. I do have a few more flight review videos to post before diving into the credit card side of things, so if any of this sounds intriguing, feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay tuned. Thanks! That said, please be responsible with credit cards and never spend more than you should. Oh, and yes, I have been chatting through breakfast, but all you missed was just the same fruit plate from dinner, nothing too exciting. The main course, on the other hand, was amazing. I wasn't even supposed to have breakfast, as usually this flight only serves dinner in first class. But since I was the only passenger, the flight attendant kindly offered me the Japanese kyokaiseki for a morning meal. She mentioned that even though it was designed as a dinner menu, it was mild in flavor and included rice porridge, which was perfect for breakfast. Honestly, who could say no to such a thoughtful suggestion? These were traditional Japanese haute cuisines that are supposed to be eaten on special occasions. Other than the fact that I'm still in my pajamas, I would say that being in Singapore Airlines Suite is special enough. Each dish was beautifully presented and highlighted the natural flavors of the ingredients. The flight attendant was absolutely right. It felt so great to start a day with a bowl of hot rice porridge and gentle food. But with the last sip of the green tea, my bucket list flight was coming to an end. I reluctantly changed back into my original clothes, turned my seat to face the window one last time as we approached the Japanese coastline. Singapore Airlines places a strong emphasis on luxury, exclusivity, and efficiency, Passengers receive the utmost care and attention, ensuring a smooth and comfortable journey from the moment they arrive at the airport until the final farewell on the jet bridge. It's truly a world-class experience, easily the best first class in the world. So, this has been Singapore Airlines Suites. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, happy travels.